Do you have a vision for your YouTube channel and how you want your YouTube channel to look in 5 years, in 10 years? Do you have a vision for where you're going as a content creator? If not, this may be why you're struggling. There's an old saying says if you want to do something great, you have to have a destination in mind. If you ever go on a trip, you've got to have a destination of where you're going. You've got to know where you're starting and you got to know where you're going. Now, vision is the idea of where you're going with your YouTube channel. So many people I see are just struggling to make things meet. They're trying to build a channel. They're trying to work. They're trying to make things grow, but they're not making progress because they don't know where they're going. Today, I want to help you find your vision for your YouTube channel and get started on this journey. Welcome to the Inspired Tubers Show. My name is James, and I help you build your YouTube channel, and I help you develop the mindset and the skills that you need to be successful as a content creator here on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on the live show today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, on the Inspired Tuber Show, we talk more about the mindset and the mental and the emotional and the spiritual practices that we use to grow our channels. We're celebrating today. We hit a huge milestone today. We hit 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Everybody that's helped us to get here. Everybody that's helped us to grow. Everybody helped us on this journey. And it's been here with us as we've gone on this journey ourselves. We really appreciate your support and your time. And it's been an exciting day. We were looking at it earlier and we were like, oh my gosh, we're getting close. And then we mentioned it on our Facebook page, and a few people on our Facebook hadn't subscribed to the channel yet, came over and subscribed. So we appreciate those of you that are supporting the channel, those of you that are helping us to grow the channel and helping us to get out their word about what we're doing. We really appreciate everybody that's helped us to reach these milestones and helped us to grow. As you're coming in, please say hi in the chat so we can see you. Today's show is coming to you via Streamyard. Streamyard is our preferred platform. We've been testing out Restream, a couple of other platforms, but I gotta say that I came right back to Streamyard. Restream is okay. Restream has some options that I like. But the problem I have with Restream is about 75% of the options that I like with Restream, I have to pay for a much higher tier in order to get. And they cost a whole lot more. Even just the basic version, though, does have a few features StreamYard doesn't have. But I still like StreamYard. The reason I like StreamYard is ease of use. It is so much easier. You can just go live. So we're using StreamYard today. If you're interested in starting your own live stream, check out StreamYard. The link is down in the description below, and you can check out StreamYard for free. We used the free version of StreamYard for about the first 9 months we were running our channel. And so we're talking today about having a vision for your channel, having a destination in mind, having goals. It's more than just goals, though. Having a vision is more than having just goals. It's about knowing what you want your channel to be like, who you're serving, what kind of content you're creating. And start creating then what you want in your journey. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written years and years ago, was one of the first books on personal development, personal growth that I read back in the early 90s. And it had a huge impact on my way of looking at the world and things that I do. But one of the things he said was you always start with the end in mind. So you always want to know where you're going. You always have that end in mind. And then you reverse engineer how to get there and build it backwards. And when you can do that, when you can start looking at where you're going and looking ahead. And then whatever roadblocks get in your way, you're going to be able to overcome them. You're going to be able to move through them and past them and continue growing and continue on this journey as you become a better creator. And this is something huge as a content creator, whether you're here on YouTube or if you're creating on Facebook or Instagram or wherever your content creation journey takes you. You know, you always want to be knowing where you're going. And you might have some detours along the way. You might have some things come up in the way. But if you have a vision, that's going to help draw you through those rough times. It's going to help you to draw you through those times when nobody's subscribing to your channel or nobody's even watching your channel. It's going to help you to have a purpose other than just views and subscribers to create your content. You know, sometimes I tell people, you know, some of the content that I create, I don't care if anybody watches. I create it because I feel the need to create it. And whatever happens is beyond my control. So if it goes viral, it goes viral. If nobody watches it, nobody watches it. But sometimes we create content just because we feel the need to create it. We feel we have a message that needs to be said, whether anybody listens to it or not. And we just want to put it out there. And honestly, sometimes it winds up being some of the best content we create is when we create that way. Still got the Christmas mug going. Hope you're having fun. We are multi-streaming today. We're streaming on Facebook. We're also streaming over here on YouTube and on Twitter via Periscope. So thank you, whoever you're watching, wherever you're watching. Thank you for watching us today. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We have been excited to be here. Excited for the milestones too. We're excited to hit the 100 subscribers. Now we got to wait a few days for YouTube to unlock the custom URL feature. It can take anywhere from a couple of days to a month based on some of the things I've been hearing other people say about it. So, you know, patience is a virtue when it comes to anything with content. It's a long game anyway. I'm not in it for the short-term results. I'm in it for the long game. So I'm patient. It'll show up eventually. Whenever it shows up, we'll claim it. But we've been having a lot of fun. We've been revamping some things. We've been changing some things up. You can see the the videos that we did the other day. Another fun thing this morning, we woke up and I was looking at my YouTube app and I have the shorts camera. I played around with it a little bit today. Actually recorded a video showing how to use the shorts camera when you have it unlocked on your phone. So we got that video. We got to edit it. And we got some stuff that we're doing with that video. So it'll be out in a few days. Probably it may not be next week because next week we're going to be out of town, but we're going to have that one coming up. But yeah, we're moving along. We are getting out there and getting the word out about what we're doing. We're doing some more networking. We only have 2 more videos. We got Friday's live stream coming up for the Conversations on Content show, where we're going to be talking about how to get your first 100 subscribers. Figured since we hit that milestone, we're going to celebrate by talking about how we got our first 100 subscribers. And we're going to share, there's really only 5 things that we've done to get those first 500 subscribers. And we're going to talk about that on Friday's show. But some of it comes down to this vision that we're talking about today. Some of that, how you gain subscribers, is going to be having that vision of who you are. Who are you serving? How are you serving them? What kind of content are you creating? Are you creating content also with a purpose? You know, this is partially, for me, it's partially a spiritual experience because, you know, I believe that we're born in a spiritual sense with a purpose. We're born with a reason for being here. And if you're creating and building your content around that, and you have a purpose and an intention with your life that you're trying to do, maybe you have a message that you want to share with the world. Maybe you have something that you feel is super important that people understand and learn. Maybe it's something that people can use inside themselves. I help creators so that they can help other people. So I help the helpers. That's why I do YouTube growth, because I help creators so that they can help other people with their content. I want everybody that comes to my channel to be successful, because if they're being successful, then that means I'm being successful at helping them help other people. I love helping people. Best way I can help the most people is to help other people help other people. You know, and that's one of the things that I've always done. I've always kind of been, and this is, something that I've been doing now publicly, but it's something I've been doing my whole life. It's something I started doing when I was probably like 15 years old. And, I'm 45 now. So that's like 30 years I've been doing this stuff, helping other people and generally helping the helpers. Whenever I was working within the spiritual communities and I was working with a spiritual community, I was helping the people that were running the community, I was helping them behind the scenes stuff. I was helping support them so that they could support the people that they were there to serve. It's what I've always done. It's one of the things I think we should all be doing, something that's of service to other people, not just to ourselves. It's one of the keys to being successful. The more you approach life and your YouTube channel and your content in how can I serve more people? How can I serve you? That's going to help you. And that vision then is just about, okay, now we have this generality. This is one of the problems that a lot of people have. One of the things when I ask people, what are you doing? What's your purpose for being on YouTube? They say, oh, I want to help people. Well, that's great, but how are you helping people? Who are you helping? How are you serving? That's what your YouTube channel is about. This is what that vision's about, is who do you serve and how do you serve them? We talk all the time about having your value proposition. If you have this vision, that value proposition will be really easy to figure out, because that value proposition is who do you serve and how do you serve them? When you have this vision, when you build your vision around a purpose and an intention for which you were born, then that's going to help you to grow as a creator, and it's going to help you bring alignment in your daily life and your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel should just be an extension of your life. And the way to do that is to build your life around a purpose, to create your life around an intention and a reason for being here. When you have that guiding intention that's guiding your life in every decision you make, in everything that you do, and then you bring that into what you do on YouTube, powerful forces unleashed to help you get there. The universe aligns to help you get there. You don't struggle with, lack, because lack is a mindset as much as it is a physical reality. It's more of a mindset than it is a reality in the physical world. And so when you have a mindset of lacking subscribers, of lacking viewers, of lacking income, you block yourself from gaining more. But when you have a vision of where you're going and how you're going to get there, now it's just a matter of taking the steps along the journey and realizing that it's a long game. When we're talking about a vision, we're talking about something that may take you 5, 10, 15 years to build. It's not something that's going to happen by the end of the week or the end of the month or the first year. It's going to take years, and it's going to require a team. You're going to have other people helping you. So first, find that purpose, find that sense of purpose and belonging in your life. And then once you get that in place, once you understand your purpose and your intention, and you understand your purpose for being here and coming and creating this content for people, now you want to start crafting a plan around that purpose of how to get there. And you're going to start crafting your content around how you're helping people and really defining who you're helping and how you're serving those people. And then they're going to tell you, as you connect with more people are going to tell you, hey, this is how you can help me. And this is something that I need help with in this area of my life. And you'll never run out of content ideas because people are going to be coming to you. When you have this vision and you can connect that vision with other people. I have a vision for this channel of being able to help people to create content that changes the world, that changes people's lives, one person at a time. And it doesn't have to be a massive number of people. You can change people's lives with just a small following. You can help a small group of people make changes in their lives and take strategies and apply those things into their lives that are going to help transform the way they look at things. So I'm hoping today to help you to understand a little bit about how to craft this vision. And it takes some time. It takes some work. It's not something that happens overnight. One of the things that we did when we started this with ourselves is we sat down and we did a timeline of our life. And this is something, it's an exercise I've done over a long period of time. It wasn't something that we did overnight, but we sat down and we created a timeline of our life. And we kind of put some of the most important things that we could think of that have happened throughout our lives from as far back as we could remember. And some of the first things on my timeline were like when I was 4 and 5 years old, and all the way up until the present moment. And so we created this timeline and we started looking for themes that repeated themselves. We started looking for things in there that were recurring things that kept happening in our lives. And one of them was this desire to help people grow. Some of it was people coming to me and asking me questions about things all the time, even sometimes things that I had no clue about. When you're 15 years old and you've got people coming and asking you about relationship advice and you've never even dated before, it's kind of weird. And sometimes you just have to say, I don't know. I don't have the answers for you. It's okay to say no. In fact, it's okay to say, I don't know. I had one of the big traumas of my childhood, one of the many, was my stepmother would not accept I don't know as an answer. I mean, she beat into me that I don't know is not a valid answer for anything. But you know what? I've learned since then that I don't know is a valid answer. I don't know is not only a valid answer. That's one of the biggest things you can do to build trust with people is to admit you don't know the answers when those answers are I don't know. And sometimes this drives people away. But to admit that to other people. So we created this timeline of our lives and some of the most important things that have happened in our lives and some of the things that we've done throughout our lives. And through that, we were able to, find stories for our story journal. I've talked about creating content and creating a story journal. It's one of the things we've talked about in some of our other stuff. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now because I could spend the whole show talking about it. But as we are creating this vision, we found these stories in our storyline that we didn't even think about until we did this exercise. And some of them are things that we can tell that are relevant to the content we're creating. And so by doing that, we also were able to see themes. Whenever I was in high school, I wasn't a good student. Part of it's because of my ADHD, because I was all over the place. I hated paying attention. And I was in all these, different problems and challenges. And I was struggling with all this stuff with school. And so they did all these tests and stuff on me. And one of the things that we found out, and this was when I was it wasn't even in high school. It was when I was in junior high. I was reading and had reading and comprehension at a collegiate level. but I was failing my reading classes. Well, the reason why was because all the stuff that they had me reading was stuff I was absolutely not interested in. But when they gave me something I was interested in, I would sit down and I would read it and I could comprehend it. And I was actually able to articulate the understanding of those things very well. The problem was most of what they had me reading was stuff that was boring and not interesting to somebody that can read on a collegiate level when they're in junior high, because they're giving me junior high level reading and I was way above that in my reading comprehension. So it bored me. And so I wouldn't do the lessons. When I was in high school, I had to take a mandatory speech class, which I failed because I did all my presentations and I had everything done. I had all my research done and I had my presentations prepared, and I refused to get up in front of the class and talk to people because I was so scared of people making fun of me and the way people would treat me. I was so terrified of public speaking that I wouldn't even talk to people in front of the classroom. And look at me now. Now I, spend a good deal of my time talking to people publicly. I spend a good deal of my time talking to people right here through YouTube, through Facebook, through online, through all of our content, trying to get myself into a position where I can get on stage and present to people. And this is somebody that failed speech class because I wouldn't even get up and give a presentation. But I've grown since then. I've learned since then. I've learned how to manage those fears, and I've learned how to manage myself. But part of it's because of having this vision of where I'm going and what I'm doing with my life has helped me to do that. It's helped me to overcome those fears. It's helped me to overcome those challenges. One of the great things you see right behind me on the wall over there, the Serenity Prayer, and we're going to be talking about the Serenity Prayer. Hello, Lynn. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to be going deeper into the Serenity Prayer later, but it's a philosophy that runs my YouTube channel. Accept the things you cannot change and have the courage to change the things you can. The things you can change are those things inside of yourself, the planning, the things that you do with your content, the things that you do to connect with other people. The things outside of yourself, what other people do, are things you cannot control, and they're things you can't change. And there's so many people that are focused on all the things that they can't do anything about and they can't control and they have no influence over because they're too small of a channel. But they are focused on those things and ignoring the things inside of themselves that they can change. And, one of the things a lot of people ask me whenever they start asking me, well, what can I do to improve my YouTube channel? One of the things that a lot of people ask me is, what can I create a channel about? I was like, I don't know you. As far as, I may know you, but I don't know you. I don't know what's in your head. I don't know what's in your passions. And I don't know every detail of what your favorite things are. And I don't know what your experiences are. So how can I tell you what to put a channel together about? These are things you have to find for yourself. I can't give you all those answers. What I can do is guide you through how to find the answers if you're willing to do the work. But you have to be willing to do the work yourself and bring that alignment into your life. But what's your vision? What are you creating content for? Who are you going to be serving in 5 to 10 years? How are you going to be serving them? How many people are you going to be serving? Is it 100? Is it 100,000? Is it 200,000? Is it 1,000,000? What is your vision? Can you actually see yourself doing it? What do you look like? What do they look like? Are you doing it on a stage? Are you doing it on a live stream? Are you just doing it through videos and automated processes? How are you serving them? The more detail you can put into this vision, the more you're going to be able to bring that vision into fruition. And we do things like, I love doing a vision board. Your room looks so comfy. Thank you. I've been working on it. I've been making some adjustments. I got almost everything in here except for the whiteboard came out of storage units. Even the desk. the and sign, the Serenity Prayer, everything, even the chair, the desk, the chair I'm using, it all came out of storage units. Now, the tech gear, most of that stuff I bought, and the whiteboard I already had. But most of it's stuff that I got out of storage units doing storage unit stuff. We're talking about having a vision for your YouTube channel and how to create that vision, how to come up with that vision. For me, it's about finding alignment with your purpose, and it's about going inside. It's not about creating a vision so much as it is finding the vision that already exists. Because I personally believe you were born in this world with a vision of what your life would be like and what your life would be about. And when you connect with that through meditation, through spiritual practices, through, going inside yourself and healing yourself and learning to open yourself up and connect with your higher self, with this part of you that was born into this world to do something. When you can connect with that, you can create your YouTube channel around that. Some people start a YouTube channel just because they want to make some money, they want to do some business, and that's cool. And I'm okay with people doing that. But this is something deeper. This is people that want to make an impact on people's lives. This is more for people that want to help people make a transformation, whether it's a spiritual transformation or a mental transformation, or maybe it's just, maybe your passion and your vision is teaching people how to install toilets. I was watching a video yesterday from Roger Wakefield, the social media plumber that is, over 200,000 subscribers. And I think he's living his vision and his passion, and he's doing plumbing. So it doesn't have to be, something esoteric. It doesn't have to be something huge or life-changing or world-changing. It can be just something that everyday people need help with. But what is it that you're here to do? Maybe you want to help other resellers become better resellers. Maybe you want to help farmsteaders become better at farmsteading. Maybe you want to help gamers become better at gaming. Whatever it is that you have a vision to do and that you feel like you are uniquely qualified through your life experiences, which is why we do the timeline I was talking about a few minutes ago. When you have that vision of that, and then you incorporate that vision into the content you're creating, you can create change in people's lives. There's two passions that I've had that have been a constant theme in my life for the last 30 years. One is creating content. I started writing when I was 15. I started writing. I started sharing. I've been talking to people, and people think I'm crazy. Okay. People think I'm weird. I've been talking to people like I'm giving presentations from a stage since I was like 14, 15 years old. But then whenever I had the opportunity to get up and talk to people, I would freeze up and I wouldn't do it. But I've been giving presentations. I've been talking. This is why I love so many personal development stuff. And I listen to audio tapes. I listen to Wayne Dyer. I listen to Tony Robbins. I listen to Bob Proctor. I listen to Jim Rohn. I listen to all these guys. And I've practiced presenting their presentations. When I was in my early 20s, I would listen to their presentations over and over again. And then I would give their presentations just like they did. And I would mimic their presentations because I was learning how they did what they did. And I was learning from them. And I would learn more from doing the presentation than I would from actually listening to the presentation. And I would be able to take things deeper and understand them better. And so then I started taking all these things that I've learned from them and teaching it to other people. One of the sites, where I've talked before about how I had over 100 websites. One of the websites I had was on law of attraction and mindset and that kind of stuff. I've been studying that stuff for 30 years. I started before the law of attraction was a mainstream thing that everybody was teaching all the time. It's been around for a couple 100 years, or the ideas and the philosophies around it have been. But it's only been really mainstream for about the last 15, 20 years. I was studying it 30 years ago, before it was mainstream. One of the first books on the subject that I ever read was called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn, written in the 1920s. It's actually now public domain. You can download it anywhere because it's free to download. It's considered public domain because the copyright on it's expired. And it's a great book. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And I read that book in 1994 or 95. It's one of my teachers gave a copy of that book to me. They said, you need to read this book. And I said, okay. So I did. And it was life changing for me. That was kind of my introduction. And then I spent the last 25 years since then studying the law of attraction, studying the spiritual laws, not just the law of attraction, but all the spiritual laws. There's the law of attraction, there's the law of vibration, there's the law of abundance. There's all these laws. It's not just the law of attraction. The law of attraction is like the easy and the pretty one to learn. So that's what everybody talks about. Probably asleep, Lynn. Where is everyone? I scared them all off because I'm getting into some of the woohoo stuff tonight. You start talking about how to get subscribers and everybody shows up. You talk about how to have a vision and people think you're crazy and don't want to come. So that's okay. I'm fine with that. I do this kind of stuff because I want to. And if anybody watches it, they do. And if they don't, this is why I tried to put all this stuff on another channel too, because I figured a lot of people would get scared off by it. But that's okay. This is a part of me. And part of the things that I've said several times and some of the stuff I've been putting out lately is, I've always said I would share my journey. And this is a huge part of my journey, And so I can't be true to that statement of I'm here to share my journey and not share my journey. Hi, Jules. So, I've been studying the law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of vibration, the law of sacrifice. A lot of people mistake, the law of sacrifice is being about, having to give up the things that you want. And it's not what it's about at all. Sometimes the sacrifices we have to make to get the things we want are the things that are bad for us and the things that are causing us to not have the things that we want. And sometimes that law of sacrifice, but everything has a price. Nothing is free. Even free stuff isn't free. It's going to cost you time or it's going to cost you something. I'm one away from 100. Wow, I've already lost one since I started the show because I was at 100 when the show started. I actually hit 100 earlier today. So I lost one. I'm surprised I only lost one. That's all right. It'll come back. I'm not worried about it. It goes up and it goes down. It's not a big deal. Subscribers come and they go, especially when I start talking about the crazy stuff. So, sacrifice is about a lot of things. But in order to have this vision of where you want to go, you have to understand all these principles that help bring it into being. And, there's a lot of people that think about the law of attraction, for example, and they think the law of attraction is about what you think about. And honestly, it's not. This vision is part of what you have to have in order for the law of attraction to work in your life, because you have a vision of where you're going, and then you align your thoughts, your emotions, your spirit, and your actions with bringing it into being. You have to have that alignment in all four aspects of yourself, through your actions, your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. And when you align everything, that's when the law of attraction comes to play in your life. And most people are just teaching the thoughts side of it. They're not teaching the thoughts, the emotions, and the spirit, and your actions. They're not teaching the whole picture. They're only teaching pieces of the puzzle. And that's why so many people struggle with it. But it's real because I've seen it work in my own life. And I've seen it work in a positive way in my own life. And I've seen it work in a negative way when I wasn't in alignment. And when I was attracting the wrong things. I was attracting lack. I was attracting poverty. I was attracting the things that I didn't want by the way I was thinking, by the way I was acting, by the way I was feeling. And a lot of people look at when I start talking about emotions, and I get into trouble with people about this all the time because people want to think that I'm insensitive. You can control your emotions. Most people don't because they never learn how to. It's a skill you develop. I couldn't tie my shoes when I was 4 years old. I can now because it's a skill I learned along the way. Emotional control, thought control is the same thing. It's a skill you have to develop with practice. The more you practice it, the more you're going to get good at it. But it's not something you're going to do once or twice and all of a sudden you're a master of it. I did a whole show just the other day on skill development. The mind, the emotions, the spirit, these are all skills you have to practice to develop. But you can learn to control them. I don't have perfect control over mine. I lose control of them sometimes. It's part of being human. We're not going to be perfect at these things. A friend of mine used to say that, when I reach perfection, you can nail me to a cross. Because, I'm not going to be perfect in this lifetime. I don't strive for perfection. I strive for improvement. Every day, in every way, we're getting better and better and better. One of my mentors and teachers was Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he used to always say, am I better today than I was yesterday? This is going to help drive you forward. If you're constantly focused on improving yourself, improving your content when it comes to your YouTube channel, if you're constantly trying to improve everything you're doing, you're going to grow. It's just going to naturally happen, but it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But when you have a vision of where you're going, that's going to draw you through those rough times when you may not be growing as much. It's going to help draw you through. It's going to help keep focused. I was talking the other day about my ADHD, and I have trouble focusing on things. But I'll tell you what, when I have these vision of where I'm going, and I know it helps draw me through that, and it helps to give me that focus when my ADHD is all over the place. I can focus in on that vision of where I want to go, and it helps me to see what I need to focus on and what I need to be spending my time on. And it helps me to get more clarity. And with somebody with ADHD, having that vision of where I'm going and where I'm trying to get to helps me to manage my ADHD. Hi, Desmond. Nice you to join us. This is my mindset show where we talk about more of the mindset more than the tactical things that we do on YouTube. We do this every Wednesday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So we've been talking about having a vision for your channel. And those of y'all that came in late, go back and watch the replay because I'm not going to go back through everything I've already said. But basically what we said is, we're talking about having a sense of purpose and meaning in your life and applying that to how you're creating your YouTube channel, creating a timeline of your life so you can see those events that stand out the most to help you pick out what your niche is, to help you pick out what your purpose is and what it is that you're here to do. And a teacher gave me this exercise years and years ago when I first started studying, because one of the things that got me into spirituality and mindset and all this stuff was simply asking the question, why am I here? Why was I born? And when I started doing these exercises to look at my past, because your past leaves clues of why you're here. Everything in your life has happened for a reason to take you in a certain direction. And so when you start looking at your life that way, as lessons that are there to take you in a direction to bring something into being, then you can start looking at the lessons that the life's taught you and figure out what is it that life's been teaching me that I can teach other people. And that's what I do with my channels. That's what I do with my YouTube channel. That's why I create the content that I create. That's why I run this whole show, to share some of those lessons life has taught me and how I apply it to my content creation. and how you can apply some of these lessons to your content creation. That's one of the things that we try to do with everything that we're doing. And some people get turned off by it, and some people buy into it. Thank you, Desmond. I appreciate that. This is the kind of stuff that I do. I believe in a philosophy of alignment. I try to align myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and finding a balanced approach to those things and bringing an alignment to those things to what I'm trying to accomplish. And because of that, I talk a lot about spiritual practices. I talk a lot about meditation. I do meditations. When people ask me how do you come up with content ideas, meditate on it. Think about your niche, focus on your niche, and meditate on what their problems are. I mean, content ideas. What is your niche, and what are the biggest problems people in that niche have, and what's the biggest pain that people have in your niche? That's what you create content on. If you want rapid growth, find the biggest pain points. Because why do you think so many of the YouTube growth channels do so much content on how to get more subscribers? Because it's one of the biggest pain points in the niche. That's why you see all the YouTube growth channels that harp on get subscribers, how to get subscribers fast, because that's one of the biggest questions. It's one of the biggest pain points people have. So more people are willing to click on a video and watch it and stick through it to the end to figure out the answer to this question. That's why we do it, because we're trying to trigger those pain points and we're trying to help people resolve that pain. We know that's a big pain point in this niche. How to come up with content ideas is another big pain point in this niche. So that's one that I try to address. How do we keep people watching our videos? That's why I do all these videos on how to do engagement and how to do different presentation techniques and things that you can do to create better content, because it's a huge pain point and it's one that's not being addressed by most of the big YouTube channels. And it's funny because people want to know the answers to these questions. And the funny thing is, some of the content we create that answers those questions the most are the ones that people watch the least. I have videos out right now that I guarantee you, if you were to watch them and apply what they said, some of those videos would probably get you over 1,000 subscribers if you applied it and if you improved your skills using them. But people don't watch those videos. One of the biggest things you can do to improve your channel is learn how to read your analytics. Yet one of the least popular series I've done on my channel has been my How to Read YouTube Analytics series. That's why I quit working on it so much. We're still got some more videos coming out on it over time, but it's not something that we did all the time because people weren't watching those videos. Even though it's the answer to 90% of the questions people ask, the answers are in those videos. Because your analytics is where you're going to find the answers to most of the questions you have. Most of the problems you have, it's going to come down to understanding how to read your analytics and seeing how your audience is responding to the content you put out. Because if you don't understand how your audience responds, you can't improve. Yeah, put yourself in the viewer's shoes. That's what analytics is all about. It's about trying to understand the audience as much as you can. People want a magic pill to fix their problems. Exactly. And that's the thing, is a lot of people come and they're like, what's the one thing I can do to get more subscribers and to blow up my channel? And it's usually not one thing. It's usually about a dozen things, maybe 20 or 30 things, little things, 20 or 30 little things, that little tweaks here and there that are going to make a massive difference in your channel. It's little things over time that are going to make the biggest impact. It's not the big things. If you really look at it, all the big things in life are just little things stacked up. So you focus, you figure out what those little things are. Make those little adjustments here, make a little adjustment there, One of the big things we're making adjustments on right now is our thumbnails. Even thumbnails, it's not just one thing you change on your thumbnails and all of a sudden you've got a huge click-through rate. It's learning a lot of little skills. And I've been focusing a lot on thumbnail design and learning all those little skills to improve my thumbnails. I've been watching some of Pixelpia's videos on how to do that. She's got some great videos on Canva that she's been putting out lately, and I've been actually learning some things from her videos that we've been applying to our thumbnails. I've been doing the little outline character things in some of my videos. But yeah, just take it one thing at a time, one day at a time. But have a vision of where you're going so that you know what direction you're going. That's going to help you to figure out what you're learning. One of the keys to having this vision, to understanding where you're going, is now you know what skills you need to learn to get there. If you don't know where you're going, you're just randomly going everywhere, and you might wind up somewhere and you might not. If I was to, go on a trip, I got to know where I'm going before I leave home. And it's the same is true with your YouTube channel. If you want to take this journey on YouTube, you got to know where you're going. You got to know where you want your channel to go. And then we can help guide you a way to get there. But you got to know where it is you want to land. If you don't know who you're trying to help, how are you going to reach them? One biggest mistakes a lot of people say is, oh, well, my content's for everybody. If you try to reach everybody, you're going to wind up reaching nobody. Your content's not for everybody. I see a lot of people that have said, well, my content's for everybody. And I go look at their content and I said, it's not for me. Not interested in this at all. And I'm part of everybody. And it's not personal. It's not saying that they're a bad person or that their content's bad. It's just nothing I'm interested in. You got to have all the pieces of the puzzle, put them all together. Having that vision helps you to understand what pieces you're missing. Having that vision helps you to understand where you need to go. And then also who you're going to get to help you. Who's going to help you? Some of that might be other YouTubers, other people you're going to connect with that are going to help you get there along the way. Some of it might be the team of people. I already have a plan in place whenever I have the money to pay for it. And I already even have the dollar amounts down on paper that says whenever I get to this milestone in income, I'm going to hire this person. And I've already got their job details lined out, what their job's going to be. I've got set up to where I'm going to have a team of at least 5 people that I have on paper right now, and I may add to that over time. One's an editor, one's a film producer, one's going to be a personal assistant to help keep me organized. I got a list of 5 people that I want to hire. Got to have some income to hire them. We're building up to that. We'll get there eventually. But that's one of the things that you got to understand is having that plan in place is going to help you to know who to hire. It's going to help you know what you need help with. One of the things that I don't like doing is thumbnails. It's one of my biggest struggles. I don't like doing them. I'm not very good at doing them. I'm learning how to do them so that I can get by. But one of my goals is to hire somebody to do thumbnails for me. They'll do my graphics. They'll do my thumbnails. I'm going to hire a graphic designer. It's one of my goals is to hire a graphic designer to do a lot of that work for me. Because that's going to take a lot of time off of me. I spend hours and hours and hours working on my thumbnails that I need to be spending working on creating better content. That I need to be spending on planning out my content better. That I need to spend on doing other things. I want to hire a video editor because I spend hours of my time every week. I spend at least 5 to 10 hours a week at least editing videos. And I'm only putting out 2 videos a week. And I'm spending 5 to 10 hours a week editing videos. That's 5 to 10 hours a week that I could be putting out another piece of content. In that 5 to 10 hours a week, I could do another live stream show. I could put out another piece of content a week. Hey, Wonderland Acres. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks for joining us. We're going a little crazy tonight. Hope y'all are having a fantastic evening. But when you have this vision of where you're going, you have your vision of what your channel is going to be. Who are you serving? How are you serving? Who's helping you to do it? Who are you working with? What other channels? What other creators are you working with? Who are the people on your team? What kind of a team do you have around you? What kind of people have you surrounded yourself? All these details need to be in that vision. The vision. Are you going to be talking on stage? Are you going to be doing live stream? Are you going to be just doing recorded content? Are you going to be sending people to a blog or a website? Understanding where you're going is going to help you direct what kind of things you're doing to get there. Content is the king, but the team is the queen. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still working on it. I've been working on it. I've got some more lighting that we're trying to get in place. And we got some more stuff going on the wall. I just haven't got it all hung yet. But we appreciate it. We're trying to readjust things. I've readjusted my lighting a little bit too. I've readjusted my camera so it's sitting up a little bit higher, so it's not below eye level. People aren't staring up my nose quite as much. But, you know, and I moved it off of the monitor, so it's off to the side now. But this way, and now I have to look all the way. That's one thing I don't like about StreamYard. I can't move the chat, and the chat is all the way at the other end of the computer. So I guess maybe I need to move the computer over here so that the chat's right there next to the screen. I might make that adjustment so that don't have to look so far away to see the chat. But that's one of the things, you know, we're constantly adjusting things. We're constantly adjusting the studio. Yeah, we upgraded our internet about a month and a half ago, and we've gotten a lot clearer on the streams since we did that. We're not having the pixelation issues that we were having. We still have some interruptions every once in a while, but they're not nearly as bad as they were. And we've been learning how to use the adjustments in our camera. That's one of the things. A lot of people don't teach how to do all the adjustments in the cameras. And I've been learning how to dig into my cameras and trying to do some adjustments and stuff. You know, I was talking just the other day too. One of the things that we're trying to do, and I'm trying to make the best of what I got. You know, I got a Logitech C920 webcam. And I'm trying to make the best of that camera that I can. I'm actually looking at getting a second camera so I can do a separate angle. And I'm also looking at getting I don't know. I've been talking to some different people. I'm looking at maybe a Sony A6100 camera because those do really well for the live streaming, and I can put a wide angle lens on it, and we can get that depth of field and get that kind of blurry background and do some other stuff. But I like the C920. Yeah, what I do is I don't use the camera as my camera source on StreamYard. Instead, I actually have the camera software open, and that is my camera source. So I can adjust the brightness, I can adjust the sharpness, and I can adjust all the features inside of it. And that works a lot better. And it took me quite a while and a lot of practice and trial and error to dial it in just right and get the white balance right and get the focus right. But since I've done that, my streams look a whole lot better. And the controls that they have in there are not the best, but it gave me a lot clearer picture once I started messing with the controls inside the Logitech software and using that as it's the Logic Capture software, which come with the camera, and I use that as my camera source. So that software has to be open in order to use it as the camera source. But once you open it and you select that in StreamYard as your camera source, it makes it a lot easier to then adjust. And I can even adjust like right here. Like I can go and, you know, make it more blurry. I can turn my brightness down. There we go. I can adjust the white balance, make myself blue, all while I'm live because I have that software open while I'm streaming, so I can actually make all those adjustments as I'm going. So if the lighting changes or if something changes in the situation, I can do that. Hello, Marie. So, but creating this vision or finding that vision, dive inside yourself, look for what's your purpose, what's your reason for being here. Create your content around that. It makes it so much easier. You never run out of content ideas. You never run out of things to talk about. I could sit here for hours and talk about some of this stuff because it's my life. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. I took whenever I started really doing this timeline that I talked about earlier, I found that my creating of content, I started with writing, then I got into audio and I got into video. I've been doing this for over 25 years. I started studying spirituality, personal development, mindset, emotional healing, all this stuff about 30 years ago because I was trying to work on me because I was such a screwed up mess. It's only been really within the last 5 to 10 years that I've started developing the confidence to be able to be here and do the things that I'm doing today. And it's been a long journey to get here. 5 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do this that I'm doing right now on a consistent basis. I did it a few times 10 years ago, but then I always had this, what they call impostor syndrome. And it wasn't because I didn't lack the knowledge, or it wasn't because I didn't have the knowledge. It was because I didn't have, the big, huge following that other people had. I didn't have the flashy education. I always used, back then, I also used my age a lot. I was younger. Back when I was in my late 20s and early 30s, people would ask me for advice. And having had people that I respected that came to me and said, well, you're too young to be teaching that. So you need to just, stay out of it. Did not help. And they were well-meaning people. And there were people that I respected. And so I took their opinion over something instead of trusting what I felt inside and what I knew to be true inside of me. I've learned to trust myself more than other people. And it's not that I don't listen to what other people say, but I trust myself more and I listen to myself more because I've had so many times in my life that I didn't trust what my gut told me to do. I didn't trust what my instincts told me to do. Even if all logic defied it, I didn't trust what I said to do and what my insides were telling me was the right thing to do. And every time I've ignored that part of myself, I wound up making the wrong decision. And I wound up doing things the wrong way. In 2008, I was doing blogging and I was doing my first websites and I was learning how to do all this marketing stuff. And in 2008, this new site was coming up called Facebook. And I was telling people, and I was trying to do it myself, to get on Facebook and use Facebook to promote our websites. And then some marketers that were really well known came in and told me how that was a ludicrous idea and that Facebook and Twitter and all these other little social sites that were little bitty things at the time would never be used to promote your business because they were just places for people to share funny memes and cat videos. And I was stupid enough to listen to them instead of listening to myself. If I had listened to myself and used social media the way I felt at the time needed to be done, there's no telling where I'd be. I probably wouldn't be here where I am right now. That's for sure. Had I taken advantage of Facebook and used it in the way that I knew to use it 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd be in a totally different place right now than I am starting over at 45 years old. I just started this channel in October, really September, but it was like the last week in September. So we really just started taking off in October. And it's been a huge journey to get here. But, things go up, things go down. It takes some time to get your footing and to keep your footing. But we knew from the start where I was wanting to go. I knew before I started this channel what I wanted to do with it and where I wanted it to go. So I've been able to strategically plan and do things throughout the whole, as I've been growing this channel, So that's why, people ask me about my sub counts and stuff. I haven't been worried about my sub counts because I haven't been focused on that yet. I'm going to eventually, but I haven't been focused on those things. Well, coming out of the blue, hello, Ms. Lisa. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Long time no see. I hope you and Jason are well. But when you come out and we've been, trying to share the strategies that we've used, we're trying to share the things that we use in every aspect of our lives, not just the physical things that we do on YouTube, but, we're trying to share the mindset stuff that we do, the way we think about YouTube. That's why we started the whole Inspired Tuber show, is to share the mindset, the way we think about our YouTube channels, the way we've thought about content creation and how to use it to make an impact in people's lives. Now, I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again because a lot of y'all weren't here, is I don't look at content creation as just something that we do for the fun of it. And it's not something that we just do to make money. It's something that we do to make an impact in people's lives. And one of my goals is to help other people make a bigger impact. I'm the helper of the helpers. So if people want to make a transformation in other people's lives through their content, those are really the people I'm trying to help. Those are the people I'm trying to connect with. Those are the people I want to help them on that journey. And this is what I've been doing for 30 years. I've been helping the helpers for 30 years. I just haven't been doing it publicly. I've been doing it behind the scenes. Before I ever started this channel, I was helping other resellers with their channel. The whole reason I started this channel, I was spending more time helping other resellers build their YouTube channels than I was working on my own and working on my reselling business. And I started the channel to take some of that time and share some of the things that I was repeating over and over and over again. That's why our first content on this channel was, how to do a Streamyard. First video series I put out on this channel was how to set up and use Streamyard for live streaming. Why? Because I had just spent like 2 days helping 5 different channels set up and start their Streamyard. It's okay. At least you finally got it done. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. There's always the replay. So when you're creating that, look at everything you've done in your life. What have you been doing in your life? What are the repeated patterns? What are the things that are recurring themes in your life? And are you creating content in a way that's helping people with those problems? One of the biggest things that you can do to have an impact in people's lives, whatever your niche is, whatever your content is find the problems that people have that have the most pain, mental, emotional, physical pain, and help them solve those problems. By doing that, that's one of the things that we talk about with your thumbnails. Find the problem, address the problem, and promise the solution to the problem. But then you have to deliver on the video with the solution to the problem. Hey, Wes. So that's what I try to do. I'm trying to help people that want to make an impact in people's lives. And if you want to make an impact, one of the biggest things you need to do is know who you're trying to make an impact with and how you're doing that. It doesn't have to be anything esoteric. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like what I do. Look at Roger Wakefield. Roger Wakefield is a plumber, and he's making a huge impact in people's lives doing videos about how to do plumbing. And he's passionate about it, and he loves doing it, and he does some really fun videos. And if you want to know anything about plumbing, check out his channel because he got everything on his channel. He's been doing it for 2 years, and he's got over 200,000 subscribers to his channel. He's living his passion. He is making an impact in people's lives. through plumbing. Maybe you're a mom and you just want to help other moms. Maybe you're just want to have an impact on your local community and you don't want to reach the worldwide audience. That's okay too. I've helped people do that. There's lots of great ways that you can build a YouTube channel that's just built around your local community. And helping people in your local community. You can do that. Again, define who you are. Define who you want to serve and how you want to serve them. How are you going to help them? What problems are you going to help them solve? That's what picking a niche is. It's just deciding what problems you're going to help people solve and really defining that and keeping your content on point and keeping your channel on point and having a focused plan of approach to do it. And if you can do that, you can create a massive impact. And when you start aligning yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually and your actions with helping people to solve those problems and with creating that kind of environment where people can solve those problems and where people feel safe to solve those problems, then you can have a huge impact on people's lives. You can change people's lives. One of the best messages that I ever got, and this was on a storage unit video. I got a message from somebody that said that you saved my life. And I'm like, I did a storage unit video. How can I save your life? But they told me the story. And I had to respect their privacy. I'm not going to share it, but I shared some things in a video that made an impact in their life. And I shared some of my personal story. That's one of the biggest things you can do to make an impact in somebody's life is share your stories. This is why we talk about storytelling. Storytelling and finding your stories and sharing your stories with your community is one of the biggest things you can do to impact their life. And it may not even be something relevant to your niche, but you could share a story about something that makes a connection with somebody and makes them make a shift in their life and helps them to make a change in their lives. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do. To me, that's more important than opening up my bank account and seeing that I made sales on an affiliate product. Although I do like to open up my bank account and see that I made sales of an affiliate product. You know, we do like to pay the bills around here. But making that impact has a more of an effect on me. I've never been driven by money, except for to the point of having enough to pay my bills. Once I can pay my bills, I really don't care about money. But I am impacted by, do we do things that have an impact on people's lives? And for me, that's what it's all about. Am I doing something that's going to help somebody else? And if I'm helping you as a creator to help other people, think of how many lives I just impacted by helping you. If I help you to become successful as a YouTuber and you help 100,000 people, and then Adrian over here, she helps 100,000 people, and then Pearl Nini helps 100,000 people. Look at all the people that I had an impact on by me doing what I do to help the people watching my channel. You know, I've got, a few people. I got almost 10 people here right now. If each of those 10 people went out and helped 10 people, that's a huge impact. And that's what I want to do. That's why I do what I do. That's why I help creators, because I want to help you guys as creators go out and make an impact in other people's lives. And you don't even have to be a constant content creator. You don't have to be a professional creator. You can be doing it for fun, doing it as a hobby. I don't care. You don't have to monetize your channel in order to have an impact on people's lives. So, yeah, give us a thumbs up if y'all are new. Those of y'all coming in, hope you're having a fantastic day. Anybody got any questions? Anything you want to ask about? If not, anybody got another discussion? Anything at all? Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, helping dominoes. I love that. Yeah. I help you, you help somebody else, they help somebody else, And it's just a domino effect. Paying forward is a great, great, great thing. We went through the drive-through a few weeks ago, and we got up to the register, and the person in front of us had paid for our meal. So we paid for the people behind us meal, and theirs was more expensive than ours was. I don't know what they did, but you know what? The people in front of us paid it forward, so did we. Yeah, we talked a little woo-woo stuff earlier. So, hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Oh, I love your profile photo. She's so cute. So, what are you doing to impact other people? Who are you trying to help? How are you trying to help them? Create that vision. And I don't want you to just think about it. These aren't just words that we have. It's not just about goals. I want you to feel it. I want you to see it. I want you to be able to visualize it. And when you can do that, you can bring it into being. You can make it happen. Once you have that vision of where you want to be, start making some pictures of yourself. What do you want it to look like? Go into Photoshop, go into Canva, find some people that are doing the things that you're doing and Photoshop yourself over them doing it. And then print that out and hang it on your wall so you see it every day. That's something that you can do to make a huge shift. I have a picture over there on my wall. I can't reach it from here, but I have a picture over my wall that I actually photoshopped. That's a picture of somebody else on a stage presenting, and the picture of the person that I photoshopped over is a picture of me. So it looks like I'm on the stage giving a presentation, because that's one of the things that I want to do. So I have that on my vision board of things that I want to bring into my life. And creating that vision board that are images to represent the things you want to accomplish with your content, the things you want to accomplish with your YouTube channel. Creating that is going to help you to see it. And then you look at it every day and you feel it every day. Hey, hope you're doing fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We've been having a fantastic discussion. A little bit of a woohoo discussion. That's what Inspired Tubers does. That's how we go. We talk about some of the esoteric things, existential things. We talk about visions. We talk about the law. We talked earlier about the law of attraction. We talked about mindset, emotional feeling, how all these things interact with your YouTube channel. If you're in a negative emotional state and you're not controlling that emotional state, it's going to impact how you create your content. People can feel if you're upset or if you're happy. And if you're trying to just put on a fake happy because you got to create a video, people can feel that. And that may be what's turning people off. If you've ever made a video when you were upset and you just try to put a fake smile on your face, honestly, people can feel that you were upset. And that may be why those videos didn't perform very well. But whenever you are upset and you go and you bring that upset and you say, hey, this is something that's got me down, and you actually let those raw, natural feelings out instead of trying to fake it, that connects more with people. That's one of the things I've learned, is not to hide how I'm feeling from my channel, and instead being real and raw with people about how I'm feeling at the moment and what we're going through. The more you can open up to that, and it's hard to do it first. It's hard to trust that community with your life. But yesterday, I'll tell y'all right now, yesterday was a rough day for me. Jessica went to the hospital. For those of y'all been following us from the Storage Scavenger, y'all know she was in the hospital 4 times last year. We were back in the emergency room yesterday, and we didn't know if they were going to keep her or not. Same issues that she was having last year. And it was about this time last year when it all started. Luckily, we caught it early enough. They were able to treat her and send her home. But it was a little scary. And we spent almost a whole day with her in the emergency room, which meant I didn't get any work done. And so it was a rough day. Emotionally, it was a rough day for me. It was a rough day for her. And, we've got this big trip. And we were one of the things we were sitting here debating is she's going to the emergency room. And I was like, well, let's just calm down. Let's wait until after it's over. We'll wait and make any decisions after we see what the doctor says and what they're going to do. Then we'll make our plans. I said, we got plenty of time. We got several days. But we have this big trip coming with Emily going to be in Dallas next week. And we were already trying to figure out, are we going to be able to go? Are we going to have to cancel it? Are they going to keep Jessica in the hospital? Which would mean we would have to cancel this trip to Dallas, which is a really, really important trip that's been put off for almost a year and a half already. And so, this is something that we've had to deal with. And we're a bit better. She's doing better now today. But it was a little scary because we didn't know what was going to happen. And I lost almost a whole day's worth of work yesterday because of it. And then even today, I only worked about half the day today because I was having to help take care of Jessie and take care of Emily. She still was resting. So I only got about half a day of work today. These are things that are interfering with our plans, but it is what it is, and we're having to deal with those kind of things. But you've got to be real and raw with people and be willing to share that kind of stuff. And it's not about pity. It's not about wanting people. I want people to understand, whenever I share that we're going through some of these difficulties, I'm saying, look at what we've been through. For those of you that have been following us for a while, you know what I'm talking about. Look at what we've been through in the last year and a half. And the fact that we've still been able to grow, we've still been able to create our content. We're still able to do the things that we're doing to impact people's lives. And if we can do it with everything we've been through and everything we're still going through, if we can keep doing it and still stay positive and still keep moving forward, there's no reason you can't. There's no reason you can't do it. It's a choice. It's not a matter of whether you can do it. It's a matter of were you willing to do what it takes. That's what it really comes down to. It's not a matter of if you can make a successful channel. It's are you willing to do the work it takes to make a successful YouTube channel? Are you willing to make the sacrifices? Are you willing to take the time? Are you willing to have the patience that it takes? Are you willing to put yourself out there in a way that's going to make a connection with people? Or are you going to be shy and hold back and close yourself off and not talk to people and not let people know who you are and where you're at? Hey, Wes, thank you so much. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, we stopped by your channel reviews, but I had this live scheduled, so I had to come back and jump on my live an hour ago. All right, sorry, Jessica came in. I had to go talk to her for a minute. Yay! You're finally exporting. But you can do it. I don't share these personal stories. I don't share our personal struggles to make anybody feel sorry for us. It's not about pity. It's not about getting people to feel bad for us. It's about wanting people to understand if everything we do and everything we go through, if we can do it, as hard as it is, and it's hard at times, it's a struggle at times. Some days it's everything we can do. Sometimes it's about setting systems up and setting things up in advance so that One of the things I've already got next week's videos recorded and uploaded. I'm still working on the thumbnails, but I've already got, because we know we're going to be in Dallas next week. So I've already got the videos already recorded and uploaded. So my videos are going to go out on schedule. One of the things we've been doing a lot of batch recording so that we're getting multiple videos out at a time. Thank you. It's been up and down this evening. I've hit it like 3 times in the last 4 hours. So it's going up. We're getting there. We lost a few at the beginning of the show and we're back up again. So I'll start talking the crazy stuff and people run away. One of the things, and I've shared this before, one of the things that I learned from an interview that Daryl Eves did with Nick Nimmin back when Nick Nimmin was nobody, he was just starting out on YouTube. And one of the things that Daryl Eves told Nick was to get about 15 to 20 videos recorded, uploaded, and in your YouTube studio ready to publish. And then you're just constantly replacing those videos as they go live. That way you've already got almost, if you think about it, if you do 2 videos a week and you've got 20 videos, that's 5 weeks worth of content almost in your YouTube studio. And you can just run. And then you're just replacing those videos. And so I'm not anywhere near that, but I've got about 4 or 5 already uploaded. I'm still working on the thumbnails for them, but I've got 4 or 5 videos already uploaded, and I'm planning on getting it up to 10, to where I have 10 videos ready to publish. Some of them are evergreen, and they're just going to sit there for like my rainy day videos. So they're evergreen content that's not going to be time sensitive. And whenever I publish them, if I publish them today or if I publish them a year from now, they're still going to be valid. Some of them are more time specific, and those are going to be scheduled uploads. It just takes some time. It takes some practice. You got to remember, Adrian, you've only been doing this since August. I mean, you're doing phenomenally well for where you're at and your experience level and the time you've been doing this. You got to remember, I've been doing this stuff for almost 10 years. And I'm, at the same place you are. You're further ahead than I am on some areas. But, some of these things I've learned from 10 years of doing it and learning from other people and listening to what other people do. No, we kind of moved away from that, Lisa. We still do have stuff to get rid of from that, but we've kind of moved away from that. I've actually talked about that and why in some of our other live streams. I was supposed to be perfect and amazing. Well, you are amazing, even if you're not perfect. Your imperfections part of what make you amazing, though. If you were perfect, you wouldn't be as amazing as you are. But that's the thing. We're always trying to improve. We're always trying to do things to skill up and to get ourselves better set up. One of the things is, with our life as chaotic as it is, especially with doctor's appointments and, emergency room visits and all this stuff, I try to have some things set up in place so that if something happens again, this is learning from my experience too. We took that 4-month break last year and it really hurt our channel. And so I've tried to set things in place so that if we had to take an extended break again, I've got content still coming out on my channel. Yeah, see, I haven't bought anything since November. And part of it for us isn't really so much stopping doing storage units. It's one, I've got too much crap. I'm still getting rid of crap from the units that we've already bought. And then the units we've looked at, and a lot of it's the junky stuff. and this is part of my ADHD, is I've got a lot of it's the stuff that I can't really sell online, and it's just junky stuff, and a lot of it we're donating, and I'm sorting through it still, and some of it's because with the ADHD, it's hard to force myself to focus on the things I don't like doing, and that's a part of the business I don't like doing. But we needed things to where one of the things that we came to a conclusion on earlier, and really at the end of last year, was I needed things more in an automated sense. I don't have to work with the digital books and the digital courses and the coaching and that kind of stuff. I don't have to have shipping. The only thing really in my business that requires me to be present is the one-on-one coaching, which we don't do that much of. We do some, but most of it's going to be the digital courses, the ebooks, the affiliate sales, and that kind of stuff is stuff that requires us to be there for the production. But once the production is done, it's out there and we don't have to touch it. The ebook sales, once the ebooks are created, they go online and the entire sales process is automated, and delivery and all that stuff is all automated. So we don't have to mess with all that. We do have customer service to do on the back end and that kind of stuff, but that takes very little of our time. Whereas, with the reselling stuff, then I got to package it, I got to ship it, and it requires me to be home with us going back and forth to Dallas all the time, and probably over the next year, we're probably going to be going back and forth multiple times for multiple surgeries and stuff. And that's why we're made the transition that we made to this channel and the stuff that we're doing, because almost everything we're doing on this channel is digital. There's no product. I can take my laptop and my webcam and my microphone and have everything that I need to go mobile and go. I can still do my content from anywhere that I'm at. As long as I've got my camera and my microphone, I can do my content anywhere I am. And we can still write my ebooks on the laptop. I can still do all that stuff that I'm doing anywhere I go. Whereas with the storage auction stuff, I have to be here to ship. I have to be here to package and ship stuff. With the eBay store, I have to be here to package and ship stuff. And it's just it's logistically not working out very well for me. So that's why we made this transition. And it's hard because I started over from scratch in September, and I'm now back to where I was a year and a half ago with Storage Scavenger, and now we're building it back up. And don't take me wrong, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of other things, but I can take it with me whenever we have to travel. I can take it with me. I'm sitting here, we're sitting inside a doctor's appointment, and I'm sitting there on my phone with the TubeBuddy app planning videos and setting things up. I've done a couple of videos that haven't been released yet, but I did a couple of videos. We were at a doctor's appointment. I was in the car with Jesse because they wouldn't let me and Jesse in the building. So Jesse and I sitting in the car, and we record a couple of videos for our channel. They haven't been released yet, but I've got a couple of videos in the buffer that are me and Jesse sitting in the car. So I can do that with this content. With the storage stuff, I couldn't do that because that required physical product, but physically being there, handling physical product all the time. It just was not a mobile. It's still a good business, and I still, I enjoy doing it, but I don't have the time for it. And I've got it to run the storage business and run the YouTube. I had to choose between the two. And honestly, I love YouTube more than the storage business. And this is my passion. This is what I love doing. Helping other creators. Helping people to help other people. Part of that's, did you watch my video on skill development? Because that's part of it. You're still developing the skills. You got to remember, you can look at people like Roberto Blake, and he talks about, editing a video in a couple of hours. But you got to think about how many years he's been doing video editing. He can probably do in a couple of hours what takes us 8 to 10 hours to do because he's developed that skill to that point where he can do that. Well, it's one of the ones I moved. I did the live on the other channel, but I moved it over to this one. The thumbnail says "Got Skills." It's all about the cycle of skill development. It was one of the mindset stuff, and it's less about specific skills and more about skill development and the journey of skill development that we go through. And in that, we talked about some of those things and understanding the levels of skill development and why it takes you so much longer at the lower levels of skill development than it does when you're at the higher levels of skill development, when you're at the levels of mastery and the levels of competence that you have within your skills. And you have so many skills you have to learn to be a good YouTuber. I mean, if you think about it, this is something I talk about all the time. A regular 30-minute news show has about 50 to 60 people running that news show. Okay. For me to do a 1 hour live stream, I've been on for an hour and a half. I've had to be the lighting director. I've had to be the gaffer. I'm the one that set up the sets. I'm the actor. I'm also directing. I'm producing the show. I'm doing about 50 people's worth of work, and I'm doing it all by myself to produce this show. So I've had to learn those skills, and I'm still learning those skills today. I'm still learning how to do all that stuff. We're still improving those skills in each one of those areas. So you don't just have one skill that you're going to focus on learning. You've got about 100 different skills. You also got to be a graphic designer to create your thumbnails. You've got to be, a video editor to edit the videos. You've got to be a producer to decide the layout for the videos, to decide the B-roll shots you need. All of this stuff. There's about 50 people's worth of work that you have to do to create a video. If you think about it, look at how many hundreds of people go into creating one 30-minute TV show. If you're doing a 30-minute video for your YouTube channel, you're doing all of those people's work for one video. If you look at a commercial, just a simple 30-second commercial has days or weeks worth of work put into creating that 30-minute commercial. On top of being all that, you're the script writer, you're the planner. They're all skills. Each one of those jobs has skills that you have to learn. The other thing is, though, as you develop those skills, that's one of the reasons why we talk about when you're doing brand deals, your production costs, because you're doing the work of the script writer, the producer, the video editor, all that stuff to make an ad for a brand, to do a brand deal. You want to charge them for that production value, for that production cost. You're the actor, you're the director, you're the producer, you're the script writer. You do all of those things. And you should be paid for doing all of those things. That's why people make so much money on brand deals, is because the production cost alone for a 1-minute ad, you should be charging around $500 for a 1-minute ad production cost. Think about it. If they want a 10-minute video, easily $700-800, easy. And well, a 15-second short takes me more than an hour to make. Yep. Oh, I don't know if y'all saw it earlier. I got the shorts camera on my phone today too. On top of hitting 100 subscribers, I got the shorts camera on my phone today. So I was playing with it. I did a little video on it. We're going to do some videos. I got some more recording to do for it, but I've got a video that's coming out on how to use the shorts camera and all the different features in there and all that stuff. So I was excited about that. I got that before I got my 100 subscribers. So Anyway, I've been on for an hour and a half. It's been fun chatting with everybody. Thank you guys so much for showing up and joining us today. Hope that you have found some value in this. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody that needs some help with this kind of ideas, maybe share the video out with somebody. And y'all have a great day. We will see y'all next time. Don't forget, Friday, to celebrate our 100 subscriber milestone, we're actually going to do the show Friday Conversations on Content. We're talking about how to get your first 100 subscribers on a YouTube channel. So if you know somebody that's needing subscribers on their channel, make sure you share it. We've already got the link set up so people can share that out. And you guys have a great night. We will see y'all Friday. Thanks for joining us.